Hello, welcome. Today we're gonna make some ghost fake marshmallows. I'm gonna show you a couple different ways that you can make them. One of them is gonna be like the Peeps ghost marshmallows, and then I'll show you another just cute little type. So we'll start out with the Peeps one, and I made this template so you could do different sizes if you want. I'm going to use the smallest size for this one today, and then I have another one that I already made up with this next size up, and I'll show you that one later. So just cut out your template. This printable is available for free for you, and I'll have the link for that in the description for you. Now obviously this doesn't have a Peeps face on it, but this is the general shape of what the Peeps ghost look like, so I thought this would make the perfect template for that. So next you'll need some air dry foam clay, and just make sure to condition your clay really well. And then I'm just going to roll it into a ball, and then I'll press it out some. I want to make sure it's big enough to fit this on there, but I also want it a nice thickness for my marshmallow thickness. Okay, so now I'm just gonna hold this on here and I'm gonna cut around it to get this shape. And you can just cut your foam clay with scissors. You could also use an X-Acto knife if you want, but I find scissors to be easier. Okay, and then I just have some sharp spots from my scissors, so I'm just going to kind of press this around and get it shaped how I like. And then for this one, I thought I would make it on a stick. So I'm cutting my straw just a little bit shorter because the full length is a little too long for what I want to use it for. And then I'm just going to put the straw right in the middle there. Just be careful of your fingerprints. Might have to push those back out. And then to keep with the Peeps style, I mean, you could use it just like this, but I'm going to actually put some sand on as fake sugar like the Peeps have on them. So I have some gloss Mod Podge here. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's gloss. It can be any Mod Podge at all. The gloss isn't going to show anyway. Now, I find it easier to get an even coat when I just use my finger, but, you know, you can use a paintbrush if you want to. So just coat both sides and around the edge. And then I just have some white sand here. So just sprinkle it on and make sure it gets nice and coated. And then you would put that aside to dry before you put the face on it. I have one dried already, so I'm going to grab that so that we can do the face. So this is the one I was saying is like one size up from the one that I just did. So it's a little bit bigger. So for the actual Peeps ghosts, they have all the dots are pretty much the same size. So you can do it that way, or if you wanted to make the mouth a little bit bigger, you can just do it however you like. So I'm just using a dotting tool and dipping it in my black paint and putting it right onto the ghost. This is a great way to make perfect little circles, but if you don't have one of these, you can use a paintbrush and just do it by hand. So there's the little ghost. Isn't he so cute? All right, so now I'm going to show you another way to make some cute little ghost marshmallows. So for this one, you're going to need some spackle and a piping bag. you don't want your spackle to be too wet. So I'm going to show you mine because it's too wet. So I'm going to have to thicken it up a little. So you can see here, this is like the consistency of whipped cream, which is great under normal circumstances, but I want this to be thicker so that it will hold its shape. Otherwise, it's just going to fall flat when we pipe it out. So I'm just going to put some into a mixing container. Now to thicken this up, you can add flour or cornstarch to it, but I wanted to find a way to thicken this up without using a food item. So what I came up with is joint compound, and you can just get this at Home Depot or any hardware store, and it's used for drywall, so it would be in that area. So I'm going to thicken this up just a little bit. I don't want it super thick or it's not going to work right, but just to give it enough to allow it to hold the shape. See how when I pull this away, it will hold that peak there. So I'm just going to put this into my piping bag. And then I'm going to get a second piping bag and just put a little bit of spackle in it. This is just going to be to make the arms, if we want to put arms on any of them. You don't need too much in this one, just a little bit. Okay, so depending how big you want your ghosts to be, I pressed this down and I shouldn't have. Depending how big you want your ghosts to be is how much you're going to cut off of here. So if you want them to be pretty small, cut closer to the tip. If you want them to be larger, you can cut further up like this. I'm going to start here and see how that goes. So I have wax paper down. I'm going to do this onto wax paper so that I can pull them off later. So I'll show you a couple different ways to pipe these out. But the first way is just holding your piping tip like in one spot. And then when you get to the top, just pull it up like that. And you can always touch this and fix it if you want it to kind of like go over to the side. Because we added that joint compound or whatever you added to thicken it, it makes it a little more so you can touch it and not mess it up. And then another way that you can pipe this on is just to go around in a circle like this. And then if you want to give them little arms, we'll just cut a little small part off of this piping bag that we just put a small amount of spackle into. The same way, just kind of hold it in one place and then pull out. So now they're going to need some faces, but you need to let them dry overnight. And then the outside will be dry, but the inside will probably still be wet. But I'll show you what to do then. So I have some here that I already made up. This one right here reminds me of the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Okay, so this part is still wet. But this makes it perfect if you want to put these on a straw or a skewer or something. So I have a straw here. So it's dry enough that I can pick it up, but it's still wet so that I can put the skewer in, the straw in. So now I need to give him a little face. So I'm going to do the same thing, use my dotting tool. I'm going to use a little bit smaller one this time because this guy's smaller than the last one that I did. Oh, he's so cute. Now, also, if you want to, you can put a little ribbon down here underneath. I got this cute little spider web one last year at Dollar Tree, so I'm going to use that. And then I have one here without the arms on it, and I'll just leave this one without putting it on a stick so I can show you this little face. So this one will probably have a little bit bigger face because I'm just going to make it like a ghost head basically. So there's that one. So if you just cut your piping bag even smaller, you can make like tiny little ones like this. That would be perfect to put on like little cupcakes or mug toppers or something like that. With the, you know, using the piping bag without a tip and just cutting the bag, you can make them any size you want. So that's what's really nice about that. Be sure to check out my VIP membership if you want to have even more tutorials from me. I do above and beyond in there what I do here on the channel. So I share some sneaky little tips that I don't share here on the channel. So if you want to join, the link will be in the description. I'd love to have you in there. Thank you so much for crafting with me today. I hope you like these simple little ghosts. They're so fast and easy to make. And happy fall. I'll see you in the next video.